Welcome back to
Hello.
our podcast. You always start off that way. I always say welcome back. You always
Hello,
go,
everybody.
hello.
Hello. Welcome back.
Welcome back. We're going to get right into it right away. So first question is, what are your biggest turn-ons?
Okay. No, that's not what we're doing today. But I do have a joke.
What's your joke?
My niece told me a joke a few days ago, and I'll tell you it.
Okay, let's hear it.
She actually came up with this by herself.
Let's hear it.
She said, what?
And the niece she's talking about is
5 years old.
5 years old, so that's kind of
She's
weird.
my angel.
Yeah.
She said, what is as big as a dragon but weightless?
The love I have for you.
No.
That was good though, right?
No.
That was good. All right, what is it?
She said a dragon's shadow. And that's so clever.
It's very clever.
I know.
That
I was
is very
shook when she
clever.
told me that. So ever since she told me that a few days ago, I locked it in my brain to tell the podcast.
That's good. That's good.
Thanks.
So it's been a
What
it's
do
been
you
a
have
what?
to offer?
My it's not a I heard it recently. It's not a joke, but it's just a quote of the day. Quote of the days are back. Quote of the day.
Because I'm keeping them alive.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Who came up with that one? You came up
The
with
world. I didn't come with that one. You've never heard that before?
that? The harder you work, the luckier you get?
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
I mean, that's just like common sense.
She clearly doesn't get the message behind that one.
Like, the harder you work, the more you're going to get out of it.
No, that's different. It's that the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Why?
The luckier you get. Because it's not necessarily luck. It's that you're working so hard and opportunities just fall in your lap, right? Because everybody wants to be a billionaire, millionaire, right? So now it's like you have to work so hard to get to that. You're not just going to become rich just like that. You're not going to become successful just like that. You have to work towards it. So
But
now,
what does luck
let's
have to
say,
do
but
with
not say
anything?
you're super successful. It's not necessarily luck. It's just that once you get to a certain level of work ethic, no matter where you are at in the pay scale, things happen for you because you're working that hard. For example, if I'm super successful and rich, right? Guess what? More than likely, my group, my network will be that same stature.
I think the real quote of the day is the harder you work, the more connections you get.
It's not. No, you let me finish. It's not about connections. For like I was saying, for example, bam, I'm super rich. I'm super successful. I'm at a party that a friend invites me to. He invites his other super rich, successful friend, and then they're just talking. I'd be like, "Oh, I have this idea. You have this idea. Luck. You got
That's connections.
It's not necessarily.
Yeah, it's because of who you know.
True, but now the connections can go for everything. So let's say I'm a landscaper, right? I'm just busting my butt in the summer 24/7, and people notice like, "Oh, can you do my yard? Can you do this? Can you do this?"
That's not luck.
It's technically luck, but
That's marketing.
Let's say no, it's not marketing. I said people see you, not you reach out to them. People see you. So
Yeah, but
let's
word
say
of mouth, like people.
But no, but exactly. But that's in this message. That's what's considered luck. The meaning the harder you work, the more opportunities come in front of you. So let's say you're a landscaper, I'm a landscaper. You work extremely hard, right? And people notice that and they're like, "Hey, I noticed you're doing very good work. Can you do my yard too?" Versus me, where I'm not working hard. I'm just driving past people's houses. I'm gonna drive past this person's house, right?
But then you're not being a hard worker.
Exactly. That's what I'm. That's
but-
what I'm saying. That's
but-
why I'm comparing the two. I'm
but-
saying that's why I'm giving you the example. I said, imagine if you were a hard worker, your luck would be other people noticing you. Like, let's say you're working hard 24.
That's the outcome of you being a hard worker.
Oh
though.
my gosh.
Anywho, I
Listen.
have something to say real quick
Oh
before
my
we get to the actual
gosh.
point of our podcast.
But you guys get that right. That's it.
Comment down below, tell me you don't get it. So one thing I have to say about our last podcast, if you didn't get to watch it, it was about the value, who has more value, a man or a woman. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. But something that I did not mention that I was thinking about that I wrote down on my phone to remember to say in this next podcast is that women are more valuable than men, even though you got canceled by like 500
I
people
said
last time?
valuable. I said that though.
You got canceled by like 500 people after that episode came
That's
out.
I told you that though. I said it on the podcast.
Anywho,
I said but I feel like in today's society.
No, you said women are valuable, but
more
men are more
no,
valued.
No, I said the opposite. I said, see, you were about to go on this whole tangent about can't do it. You didn't even pay attention to the old podcast we recorded.
I did.
I said men.
He said women suck. Okay, so
Oh
basically what I just want to say before we move on to the actual topic of today's podcast is that women, there's only one reason why women are more valuable, and it's that we procreate.
100%. And
I've
but listen, but I've told you that 100%. I told you that.
How
I've
did
said
I
it.
not bring that up?
I've said it.
Podcast?
The reason and my main reason. There are millions of other reasons. I can open up a scroll book of reasons why women are up here, in my opinion, and men are below them.
Yeah.
Is because for number one reason is women can bring life into this world.
Period.
That is the
you heard
ultimate.
It here first.
That is the ultimate. So that's why I have women up here, and I have women up here and men down here. Society doesn't though. That's all I'm saying. Shout out Andrew Tate. Let's go.
Okay, so today, boys and girls, guys, I'm so excited. I'm about to start school in like 2 weeks. Today.
So she's gonna put her Amazon. What's that called? What's that called?
Not.
She's not going to, but I'm gonna say it. It's called a Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put her Amazon wish list. First, she's been teaching for like a couple years now, but
Couple years. I've been teaching for 6 years.
6 years. So every year, obviously, teachers like
This is
to
my 6th year
redo
teaching.
their rooms and stuff, just to update it, spice it up a little bit for the new kids coming in, and teachers don't get the funds for that. They have to it's come out of their own pocket. So to redo your room, I mean, it's not expensive, but why not? Why not? So I'm going to put her Amazon wish list for her teacher stuff in the description. So if you want to, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go in there and get a little some, you can do that. Because Lord knows it ain't coming to my pocket.
Okay. Today we are going to give our unsolicited advice, as we do here on this podcast.
Unsolicited.
Jollof meets biryani.
Can you spell unsolicited?
Yes.
Spell it. Ooh,
Ready?
ooh.
UNSOLICIT. Unsolicited. TIED. Something like that. I don't know. I need to write it down. If I had a board, which is in this drawer, which
Right.
I'm not
Imagine you
get out.
spelling that wrong right after I just said help the teacher out. Why can't
No, but unsolicited is a long word. I need to. I'm a visual learner. Who else here is a visual learner? Okay. Anywho, today we are going to give our advice.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good advice? We don't know. It's just our advice.
Right. What are your advices? What's the plural for advice? Advices? Advices?
He'll be joining my first grade class from in the fall.
Doom, 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 doom. This week on Love Island. I'm just kidding. Go
Is
ahead.
that what it does?
I don't know. But go ahead.
All right, here's the first one. Are you guys ready? So my friends excluded me. Basically, I'm not going to read it. We'll put all of them up here. So pause.
Ching.
To read the whole thing. But basically what the situation is that there's a group of coworkers. And this happens a lot in my school because we're all girls. So lots of drama happens.
Clicky. Bad Girls Club. Bad Girls.
Thankfully, my first grade team is the best team ever. Anywho, so basically what this situation is that it's a group of 4 different coworkers. Now, the main girl who's asking for the advice is really good friends with one of the coworkers, and she used to hang out with her a lot. But then they used to include the other 2 coworkers. So it used to be a group of 4. But then they used to hang out one-on-one, and then slowly her friend would stop hanging out with her one-on-one and would like make excuses for her and would make excuses to not come like last minute. So she's like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then she finds out that them 3 are hanging out without her. So that's sad.
Sorry to say it, but that one friend who's getting left out, they don't mess with you like that. It's that simple.
See, like that's what I was scared of when I started teaching, because actually my 3 coworkers, there's 4 of us in the first grade team, and the 3 of them are like have a few years on me, and I'm like the baby, and I was really nervous about that. And if I was left out like that, which could have definitely happened,
But you weren't.
But
though,
I wasn't,
right?
because I put in the work.
Right.
But clearly it seems like she put in the work too.
Right. But if she did, and they're not still wanting to hang out with her, there's only literally, in my opinion, only 2 different outcomes or options or reasons why this is happening. One, they don't mesh with you because they don't mesh with you, or mess with you because one, you just might be so different from their version of fun and what they want to do when they hang out,
Right.
or they just might be super cliquey and stuck up and just a different breed of guys or girls where they're like, we don't want, although they introduced us, we don't want to let them in. I feel like there's only two options.
You know what it is? You know where the problem really arises? Is that, okay, here's the situation. If the three of them were friends first, and then you came along.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to it. If three of them were friends first, and then you came along, that would make that would register in your brain. They're a clique already.
Mm-hmm.
They already are best friends.
True.
I'm coming in. I'm new. The fact that you were close to a girl and you guys were super close, and then she starts making excuses to not hang out with you. That means
y'all were never close. You thought you were close, but
yeah. Then you find out.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Right. And it just might be that girl who you were friends with is only maybe forced or felt pressure to hang out with you or be close with you. But clearly, if you were friends with someone and they just left you after you introduced, that means you guys were never, it's not necessarily red flag.
That is, I would never attempt to be friends with that person again. Meaning like that.
Well, of course, yeah.
Friend
red
flag.
Yeah.
Like,
if that happens, that just means that friendship was never a solid foundation.
You and I have talked about this before, where if you feel like you're not invited to something, there is no way I'm there.
Absolutely not.
I do not care if I get pity invites or last minute invites, or if I feel an inkling of me not in it and getting an outsider invite. Find new friends. Hopefully you're not in teaching. That would be hard. That would suck if you were in teaching, because it really sucks if you don't make good with your team. But hopefully you're at a job where you can find other coworkers that are it's hard. If I'm a first grade teacher and there's a fifth grade teacher, I can't be friends with as close. Yeah. So that's kind of hard. But a job, a business job or something, find new friends.
True.
I'd rather be alone than have fake friends.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Facts.
Okay. Here's another one. I need advice. It's a person who is 25 years old. They've been married for 4 years, and their parents are very controlling, and they treat this person like a child, even though they are married and are grown. And they were never allowed to have friends and yada, yada. Growing up, they got a new piercing, and their parents are not speaking to them. This sounds like you might be coming from a hardcore cultural household, I'm assuming. They didn't say anything. They said, "What should I do?"
Listen, if your parents think you're old enough to get married, they should also agree and think that you're old enough to make your own decisions, right? But at the same time, if this person is living under someone else's roof, it adds that level.
You're saying if the husband and the wife live under their parents' roof?
Yeah.
Which is maybe some of you, that is common sometimes.
And obviously at that point, I feel like the parents do feel a sense of entitlement to make certain decisions for them, which is wrong. But it's hard. I feel like it'd be hard to fight that when you're living under their roof. It shouldn't be if it's between, man, I can't talk. But yeah, that's all, folks. If it's between the husband and the wife, sure. But if your parents have always been controlling to you as an individual, as their child, that situation you have to address, because if they're still controlling now, even when you move out of their house, they will still be very controlling.
Yeah, I have two things to say on this.
Tell me.
To go along with you. Number one, you have to create boundaries. You clearly, sorry, buddy, but you didn't create very many boundaries.
It's tough though if you're under.
It's hard, but you're married. You've been married for 4 years. It's a boy, right?
Right, and he's still.
So I think in that case, and it's never about disrespect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying ever disrespect an adult or a parent. Obviously, they're your parents.
True.
They get the utmost respect.
The utmost.
But I think you need to create boundaries so that they can't get mad at you for something like that. First of all, if you want to do something something as silly as that, that's not even it's not going to hurt anybody. It's not detrimental. It's not it's just something.
It's not,
silly.
It's something small. But I feel like in a parent situation like that, when you have a certain level of control over someone, your child, and they get married, that level of control must have been so great where they feel like now they're married, they want to assert that level of control over their marriage. And now that's I feel like that's would be how they would pick on little things, like a piercing on your own body, right? Or let's say if you want to go out and hang out with your friends and they're still picky on that, that's them initiating, right? The conflict. That's them saying, listen, I still have control over you no matter what. So they're picking on little things. If it was big things like where to live, what car to buy, things like that, like even that, yeah, but that's fine because I feel like a lot of parents
give advice
on that one.
That's
right.
different. Like getting parents advice is great. We ask our parents for advice all the time.
True.
But when it's something like this, like that's not, first of all, that's not something to not speak to someone over. So clearly there is some sort of like control there that needs to be brought down a bit. And I think also when you're a parent, I'm not a parent, so this is just how I think.
Right.
I could be wrong when I become a parent. I don't know. Maybe I change my mind. But I think tone is everything. And I say that even between like us two. The way you say things can affect the outcome of how someone responds.
True.
In a parent-child relationship and a husband.
But there's a difference when somebody says, when their tone is up here versus when it's down here. Meaning, if you're in an argument or you're talking with someone, people can shut down when the tone is up here. Like if we're debating or arguing and I start getting loud, that can cause you to shut down. But if at the same time, if we're debating or arguing and you start shutting down, that's going to cause me to shut down too.
That's why this is like love languages. That's why you have to know how the other person
right. But no, I obviously,
things.
But I'm saying, but I feel like when you said tone can be both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you feel like if somebody's disrespecting you, like as a spouse or a parent, like parents, you know what it is? It's like what I'm trying to get at is that, when you come at things in a loving way, like people won't get as hurt by it. But when you come off in a judgmental way, then that makes people defensive. So like in this case, if his parent is coming at him for a piercing or whatever it is, like for something smaller, and they're coming at him in a judgmental way and is like, I'm going to stop talking to you, and they get angry and whatever, then that's not going to make a person want to like fix a situation. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
I agree.
Okay, great. So, what you need to do, what's our advice to him? Create boundaries.
Talk to your parents. Get out of there.
Get out of there.
If you're living on.
Did he say that he lived under their roof?
Did he? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think he did. But if he does, I mean, that would be
right.
That no matter how great your relationship is, that always fixes things.
True.
When you get a little bit of space. Okay. Last one. This is a doozy. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. My ex says she misses me but isn't physically attracted. So basically, this is a guy speaking. He's the one who's asking for the advice. And he was with a girl and they were with each other. He's loved her for like 10 years now and he wants to be happy with her. She broke up with him because she's not physically attracted to him. But now she keeps coming back and like trickling her way in, and he doesn't know how to feel about it because he still loves her, and he's like willing to change how he's like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'll like get into the physique that she wants.
Dead. That's dead.
So what should he do?
Nip it in the bud. And it's bud, not bud. My whole life, I thought it was bud, but it's bud.
Okay, why?
If someone's not physically attracted to you, it's dead. It's dead. Especially if you have to change for them, super dead. Why? Because they will always, if you're changing for them physically, it will never satisfy their high. Meaning you could be like someone who's, if you look at somebody, right, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So if you look at somebody like, oh, they're not physically attractive. Can you change this to make yourself more physically attractive? To me, they do that. Guess what? You're going to see something else you like. It's a trend, right? Physical attraction with somebody, unless you're married to them, is a trend, right? So you could be into a certain look and then somebody can meet those standards, but then your eye is going to see someone who has that, but 10 times more. You might have a 6-pack. But you might see somebody that has an 8-pack. Like, oh, I like that. Hey, can you get an 8-pack? and he gets 8-pack, then you want a 10-pack. It just keeps changing.
But what if and I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I'm just trying to give you like maybe another situation. What if like in this situation they were together and he just really fell off and like his health went down and he just started not caring.
Right, but the thing is,
wait, let me finish. And then he gets really, really big or whatever the case may be, and she's like, I don't like that. And then then she breaks up with him, and then now he's like, okay, I'm willing to get healthy. I'm willing to, like, everything else works.
But that's different. Why? Because he was here before. When they met, when they liked each other, he was here. Then he dropped. So him going back to where he was, that's exactly what it is. Him going back to where he was. So if he was physically attractive in her eyes, that's what it was. Then
so that's gonna work.
Then it's dropped. Yeah, I think that would work because that's how they met. That's how they liked her. That's how they fell in love. By him.
But if she wasn't physically attracted, from the jump,
from the jump, exactly. So if she found him physically attractive from the jump, and then he let himself go, that's him changing.
Mm-hmm.
That's him changing from what she was used to. So now if he gets himself back to where it was, that's the foundation. That's where it all started. Versus him being down here. She's like, I don't like you. Can you come up here to meet my standards? Yeah, I think that's hard.
It all depends on like the beginning, I think. I think if she always had a concern about physical attraction.
What did you think about my physique when we first met?
I think you're definitely in your prime now.
It means I had a good personality, guys.
Yeah, he did have a very good personality.
If you
guys don't follow him on Instagram, go look at his Instagram, and he's exposed himself a few times. God knows why. I was always like this.
You know why? God knows why. I say it. You know, that should be the quote of the day every single day. Dang. You make fun of yourself so no one else can make fun of you. You make fun of yourself so
I liked Kay when he had braces. That's when you know.
Yeah.
Actually, I liked you before you had braces and then during. So you had, when I met
Shorty
you
doesn't love me from the get-go.
Now what about me?
About what? Wait, what's the question?
My physical attraction. Were you physically?
So long, farewell. I'm just kidding. Of course.
Okay, we're out of here.
Of course,
you guys.
look at her.
We said it here first.
She's
Everything
absolutely
happened.
stunning, right? You've got great chat. You've got great banter, right? You're absolutely unreal.
I always try to get Kay to tell me what his speech would be if he had to couple up with me. Go ahead. This is how we're going to end the podcast.
All right. If I had to couple up with you on Love Island?
Yeah, what would you say?
First.
By the way, this is Love Island UK.
Right. So I use my British accent. I would like to couple up this girl because from the first second I laid eyes on her, you know, when she walked through the villa, I thought, wow, what is that? It's absolutely stunning. And then, you know, all the other islanders were like, no, Kay, don't chat to her. We know about her. She has a history. She has a past.
Damn.
Or whatever. She's going to make you look like an absolute mug.
Do I have mug written on my forehead?
Right, but I saw, you know, I had a couple of chats with her. She has great banter, and you know, when I first met her, her breath was like halitosis level.
What is it?
Halitosis.
I'll spell halitosis in British accent.
Halitosis.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
This is it. We'll see y'all next time.
Wait, I didn't do my song.
We don't need to hear this. I do it in a British accent. Go ahead.
So long, farewell to you, my friend.
Okay, bye.